Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal. I hope you are all well and you've enjoyed the last couple of weeks. Yes, I have returned from my holidays, and what a way to return. 2 wins, 6 points, joint top of the table. Certainly been a good start to the season in my absence. Apologies, I am back, so I'm sure the season is now going to go completely downhill, and I'm going to get all the blame on Saturday when Arsenal lose or drop points at Bournemouth, as so many of you have said on social media in reply to my message today saying that I am back. The Watts curse is probably going to be up and running soon. Hopefully not though, and certainly from what we've seen in the start of this season, it's been very, very good. I have been watching from afar as much as I can. Saw most of the Palace game. That was obviously great, brilliant start. Dug in after that, did what they had to do. Really good performances. Thought Saliba was great in that. And then Saturday's game was an interesting one. I was at the airport flying home, and I was listening to the first half on the radio, and then literally the half-time whistle went just as we were about to take off. So I had the whole flight home there, not knowing what was going to happen, and kind of going over things. I hate it when you're flying and Arsenal playing, you don't know what's going on. And then hurriedly turned the phone on when I touched down at Heathrow, saw we'd won. And it was the exact point that Brentford would destroy Man United as well. It's just a real comedy scene in the plane as everyone turned on their phone at the exact same time as we touched down. And it was pretty much the exact moment that Brentford scored their fourth goal. And you just heard everyone up and down the plane turning on their phones going, 4-0? It was just constant cries of, it's 4-0 out down the phone. It was, obviously you probably had to be there, but it was funny, believe me. And yeah, it's a sort of role reversal, isn't it? You look at what United have done the first couple of games, and they've got a difficult game coming up this weekend against Liverpool, and they could be in the exact position Arsenal were last season after 3 games. And anyway, who cares about Man United? It's as funny as it is to watch at the moment. Arsenal, it's just been a fantastic start to the season. It's exactly what you wanted. I mean, that tricky game at Palace always looked difficult, and to come away from that with a win, and then back it up with a really good performance against Leicester. Yes, conceded a couple of goals. One of them very unfortunate with Saliba. I thought Ramsdale should have done better with the second. Should never really been letting Maddison score from there. It looked like he set himself all wrong. His legs were far too wide apart. But so many good performances. And Gabriel Jesus, just electric. And I remember talking before I went away and, having watched him in pre-season, just saying he just looked ready to really explode. And the way he started the season as well, he was brilliant against Palace from what I saw, and then fabulous at the weekend. I mean, the first goal was it was Bergkamp-esque, the lack of backlift and floating in. I mean, the only thing you could possibly complain about the game on Saturday was that he didn't get a hat-trick because he had chances to. But on the whole, just the positivity he's brought to the place, the way he's settled, and, by all accounts, he's just been such a big presence at London Colney from the moment that he's arrived, and everyone's so happy with him and the way he's settled in and the sort of responsibility he's taken on, and it just seems really, really positive. And when you just see one player who makes such a difference, I saw a stat going around. I didn't actually have time to check it out. I just saw it on Twitter. There was something mad about how many touches he's had in his first 2 games inside the penalty area, and it was something like the same as what Lacazette had in 17 matches last season. And it just shows the difference of having that player in and around the penalty area, just being a presence and causing trouble, and making sure that defenders have got something really to worry about around their own goal. And it was something Arsenal lacked so much last season. We know it. It was so clear. There was just no presence in the penalty area, and they've got that now. And he's such a live wire, and he works so well, and he's bringing the best out of Martinelli, who looked fabulous from what I saw on Saturday, and started the season with two goals as well, which is really, really big for him, because you kind of knew that Xhaka and Martinelli needed to step up again this season. Xhaka scored a decent amount last season. He needs to repeat that, but Martinelli did everything but really become a regular goal scorer last season, and if he can really add that to his game this year, then he's just ready to completely take off and go to another level as well. And so it's really positive for me that he started with 2 games, with 2 goals in 2 games, and it's just looking really, really good. And the mood around the place, when you go back to pretty much bang on a year ago, and how the mess Arsenal are in, the dreadful pre-season they had, the real disruption because of COVID, the opening defeats, players being away, coming in, not being fit, getting hammered at Man City, the red card, everything that was going on in those first few weeks last season, and you compare it to now, and the brilliant pre-season they had, how settled everyone was, the togetherness of the squad, and it's just worlds apart. And from all accounts, I spoke to my dad at the game, after the game on Saturday. He was obviously there, and I spoke to other people who were there, and it sounded just like a real brilliant place to be, that stadium on Saturday. And it looked it from the video, it looked so full as well. And I know it's always Arsenal, it's a bit of a running joke, isn't it? 60,000 tickets sold, but you could see empty seats all around, but it just looked really full. Everywhere you looked, it looked really full, and the atmosphere was great. The Ashburton Army over in the clock end, I think, are making such a difference. They made such a difference last season, and I think from what I saw the videos again on Saturday, it just looked really, really good. They were bouncing, the atmosphere was great, and there's just a real feel-good factor around the place. And long may that continue. Now, obviously, there's going to be testing moments. Arsenal are going to lose games. They're going to drop points. They're going to drop points in matches they expected to win. It's going to happen. But even so, it just feels like even if that does happen, it just feels like hopefully that the crowd are going to stay with the team, and it's all set for, fingers crossed, a positive season. And certainly the start has been really, really great, and that's fantastic to see. Let me know what you guys think. How have you enjoyed these 2 weeks while I've been away? What have really stood out for you? Who has stood out for you? What have been the best performances? What are the positives? What are the negatives, if there are any? Let me know, as always, in the comments below. Just sort of further in, talking more about the mood around the place at the moment, it really, really is. I think it's important, because when you go back 12 months and the kind of mess that Arsenal are in, and we've seen all or nothing as well, and there were certainly issues at the start of last season, and now people you speak to at the club and what they say the mood is like, the place is just the polar opposite. And I think players are being really important in that. I think the responsibility the players are taking on, it's all settled now. We obviously know the captain is. There's the kind of leadership group, the two players beneath them who are Gabriel Jesus and Granit Xhaka, who Mikel was kind of, it is, I suppose you'd call it, the leadership group. They're not vice captains, so to speak, but they are the two players who Mikel was tasked with the extra responsibility of helping out Martin Odegaard. Now, Granit is a natural choice. Yes, there's that issue of what happened when he was captain and being stripped of the captaincy, but behind the scenes, he's such an influential figure. Everyone loves him. He already takes on loads of responsibility. The players really respect him, and I think you've certainly seen in the last year they're kind of rebuilding the steps between him and the fans in terms of relationship. Obviously, it helps scoring goals like he did at the weekend and against Man United. And I think we saw a little glimpse into what exactly Granit's like behind the scenes on All or Nothing. And when we spoke to him, a lot of the media went down there before I went away, and we sat down with Granit for like half an hour. And whenever you talk to him, he's just a very infectious kind of character. When he talks, you listen, and that's exactly the kind of response you get. We were speaking not just with him, but with Aaron Ramsdale, and we were talking about the armband and the captaincy and the importance of it. And does Granit think it's important, even if he has the armband or not? And at that point, Aaron Ramsdale stepped in, even though the questions were at Granit, and Ramsdale was just really keen to point out to all of us exactly how important Granit Xhaka is to the squad, and how he is a captain even though he hasn't got the armband, that sort of thing. And so it's no surprise to me that Mikel has brought him in as part of this leadership group. And it's interesting that Gabriel Jesus has been brought in and maybe Kieran Tierney hasn't, because I think certainly last year you were looking at potential captains and Tierney was right there. And I think it says a lot about why Mikel wanted to bring Gabriel Jesus in at this point in his career, 25, after spending these years at Man City. He believes he can be a real leader, not just on the pitch with his performances, but off it as well. And it kind of, from who you speak to at Arsenal about how impressive Jesus has been behind the scenes and the way he's settled and how he's just involving everyone. There's no cliques or anything like that. He's not just sticking with the Brazilians or the Portuguese speakers. Obviously, naturally, you kind of gravitate towards them a little bit because that's your natural language. But he's very much getting everyone involved, Jesus, and he's just apparently such a nice guy to be around. And I think that comes across in the interviews that he's done as well already. So yeah, it just feels like a very, very positive start to the season. It's a shame that I've missed it, but hopefully now I'm back and I can see it continue, because they've got a couple of very winnable games. You have to say Arsenal have put themselves in a very good position at this start of the season to really enjoy the first couple of months. You still have to go and win them. Bournemouth away on Saturday is not going to be easy. They showed that on the first day of the season. Yes, they went and got mauled at Manchester City at the weekend, but everyone pretty much goes and gets mauled by Manchester City at the Etihad, so I don't think that's going to affect them too much. And Arsenal are going to have to go there and be very, very professional, but you would hope the way they've started the season that they can go there and get the win and continue this good run. Then I think it's Fulham after that. It's very at home. It's that getting that win at Palace on the opening day was just so important to set them up. And if they can now go on and get these wins that you would hope that they can in the next couple of games, then they're going to be in a very good position. And they need to be, because everyone else has started the season pretty well, barring Manchester United. Obviously, I watched bits of Chelsea-Tottenham yesterday. Hilarious to watch. I thought Chelsea were very, very good. I have no idea how Tottenham managed to get a point, but fair play to Tottenham. They hung in there, and you can see what's happening at Tottenham under Conte, that he's beginning to get them to play his way, and then maybe they would have lost that game last season, but the fact that they sort of stayed in it, they had that belief to stay in it. You've got to look at Conte and the effect that he's having on that squad, and they're going to be there and thereabouts this season, no doubt about it. And City have started well. Yes, Liverpool dropped points, but they'll bounce back, I'm sure. So Arsenal are going to have to hit the ground running. They're going to absolutely have to continue this good run of form, because no one else is going to let up. It's going to be very intense as always. So really important to start the season well, and it's just good to see that Arsenal at the moment are sort of continuing that good start that they've had and the good work that they did in pre-season. It's been a bit of a ramble, this video, but I haven't spoken for 2 weeks. I just wanted to talk about Arsenal. I've been stuck with my kids for 2 weeks, who have shown no interest in what's going on back in England at football. So I just wanted to chat and ramble and talk about Arsenal and how good and positive a start to the season has been. I know all you are going to be asking, what's happening on transfers. Look, the fact is I've been totally out of the loop, and on this holiday, I very much wanted to stay out of the loop. I haven't been picking up my phone, sending messages. I've been absolutely on Arsenal. I've watched the games. I've wanted to see how they were going to get on, or tried to watch as much of the games as I have. But I've been on holiday, and I've tried to very much keep it that way. In terms of transfers, like I said, I'm pretty out of the loop at the moment for the last couple of weeks. But I don't think anything particularly is close to happening. I don't think that's anything that anyone didn't expect to hear, because it doesn't feel like anything is close to happening. I think Alex Runarsson, that's one that's rumbling on, and with him going to Turkey at some point, that should happen, barring any late complications. He'll head off to, I think it's Antalyaspor in Turkey. But aside from Runarsson, I don't think anything in terms of ins or outs is that close to happening at the moment, and we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, we've got what, 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks left to the transfer window. It's going to be interesting to see what Arsenal do. Can they make one more big signing before the window closes? They want to. Mikel Arteta's made it clear that they want to, that he wants to. He believes they still need to add to the squad. They are still in the market, so we'll wait and see exactly how it progresses. But I think there's still a focus on getting a few more players out as well with Arsenal that might still just be the priority at the moment. We've seen since I've been away, they've managed to clear the decks somewhat with some of these players that we've been waiting to get moved on. Some of them have gone, but there are still players left in the squad that need their futures resolved. And I think for now that is potentially the priority. I know Edu's over in Spain. Everyone saw him on that Ryanair, waiting to go on Ryanair, and everyone's kind of put two and two together and thought that he's heading over to sign Pino from Villarreal. Who knows if he's doing something like that while he's away, but Edu's got Villa in Valencia. I know that his family are there at the moment as well. We've seen, if you just look on social media, I think there's a family event going on over there. So as far as I'm aware, I don't think it's anything more than that. Who knows if he's working business with pleasure while he's over there and trying to get something done. But as usual, it's social media's certainly been taken a little bit by storm by that photo of him waiting to get on the plane at Ryanair. But whether there's anything more to it, I don't know. But I just know that he's over there with his family at the moment. But anyway, that's about it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the messages while you've been away. I know plenty of you have messaged me again. Where are you? Are you all right? Obviously, you didn't know I was away. But I am back now, and hopefully I shall be doing plenty more of these videos as we progress through August. I think the press conference is going to be on Friday at London Colney this week, Friday morning. That is a plan at the moment, although it's not 100% set in stone. So, yes, we'll keep an eye out for that when Mikel will be talking. Team news-wise, looking pretty good at the moment. Everyone's fit and available and getting ready for selection. Squad looking good. Big choices maybe potentially for Mikel Arteta to make when it comes to his team selection. I'll talk about that a little bit more as the week progresses. But let me know what you guys think. Anything on your mind, hit me up in the comments below. As always, it's good to be back. Thank you for all the messages while I've been away. Have a very good day. I'll speak to you soon.